our conversation going, Indigrid is on our radar today. Recently, the company had reported their numbers. It was a good revenue growth in Q1. The management said they're on track to deliver the distribution per unit guidance of 15 rupees for FY25. They also recently entered into a partnership agreement with Techno Electric to develop two Interstate Transmission System projects. Harsh Shah, the CEO of the company, is now with us to talk about the overall business outlook and this tie-up that they've done with Techno Electric. Harsh, thank you very much for joining in. First, if you could just explain to us the complete contours of your deal with Techno Electric for these two transmission projects.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for having me. This transaction is not just with Techno Electric. This partnership is with two other investors called BII, British Investment International, as well as Norfund, which is a Norwegian sovereign wealth fund. So this partnership between Indigrid, BII, Norfund, and Techno Electric brings together a set of professionally run investor firms with a developer to develop more transmission projects in the renewable energy and energy transition space. And eventually, when these projects are completed, Indigrid will be acquiring them as a whole. So Techno Electric will be doing EPC for these projects, besides also investing minority equity. Indigrid will be investing equity. BII and Norfund will also be investing equity. So it's four partners investing equity for these projects, Techno doing the EPC. And eventually, Indigrid will acquire these projects on commissioning in entirety. So the Techno gets to do EPC, Indigrid gets to have a pipeline for growth assets. That's how the partnership is built.
Okay, got it. So what is the ROE that's guaranteed on these projects? Is it in line with some of the other, transmission assets? And I mean, going forward as well, what should one expect?
So first of all, there are no guaranteed ROEs on the transmission projects. There is only in the regulated tariff mechanism projects. That also has stopped, and then I don't think incremental projects are coming on regulated tariff mechanism even for Power Grid. These are competitively won projects, and there is no fixed ROE for all the investors and developer. So if the project is completed in time, within cost, all of us would be making healthy returns. If it's not, we would take loss to that account. But with the partnership that we already have in place and the track record, we are pretty confident that it will be completing in time and budget. In terms of future, we are looking forward to take this partnership to greater level and do bigger projects. These three projects put together are relatively small, but they start, I would say, they mark the start of the partnership in this space between four of us, and we will look to grow this and do bigger projects in a similar manner.
So if the project is completed within the stipulated time period, as you're hopeful, then what would be the ROE? Usually
people bid in transmission in the range of 13% equity IRRs, and that's what we'll intend to make over here.
Got it. And if you could also help us with the shareholding pattern, because you're, the principal partner, but there are four other partners who will also be investing. So what will be the shareholding pattern?
So in this case, see, most of the investment will be via convertible instruments because there are lock-ins from different partners as well as the foreign investment directly coming in the shares has some issues. So we are, in general, capital contribution-wise, Techno will be contributing 20%. And the rest of us, between BI and Norfund and Indigrid, the 80% will be almost divided 1/3 between the three of us.
Okay. And before we let you go, can you tell us about any fundraising plans that you would have in order to expand your AUM?
See, at this point in time, we are at 61% leverage. We have another 6,000-7,000 crores of growth headroom already with us. So we are pretty comfortable in terms of growth. We don't have any imminent fundraise being planned right now on a primary side from Indigrid.
So going back to this partnership, you also indicated that you plan to take it to the next level and bid for more projects. Could you elaborate what's in the pipeline?
Sure. See, in general, the transmission space is looking at phenomenal amount of pipeline. We are looking at almost 1 lakh crores of identified projects that are coming for auction for next 12 to 18 months. To give perspective of scale, over last 10 years, there'll be around 1.5 lakh crores projects bidded out. So it's like a 10-year growth coming in 12 to 18-month period. So we are seeing that kind of a growth pipeline coming for bidding at this point in time. We would look to bid. And even a 5-10% market share would translate into 5 to 10,000 crores of pipeline for us, and we are pretty happy with that.
And is there intense competition in the transmission bids?
It's a function of the size of the pipeline as well. There are established players, and there is competition for transmission project. The reverse auction process gets competitively intensive. However, I mean, when there's a pipeline of 1 lakh crore, I think all of us have reasonable confidence of winning projects at rational pricing.
Harsh, great conversation. Thank you very much for explaining the contours of your partnership and the way forward. Need to get into a short break. We'll come back and discuss market technicals. We'll invite Mitesh Thakkar on our show.